Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you stay up to date on further content. Seems to be a lot of ships in the area at the moment. Julandru, and welcome to Shadowstar. I'm Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and this is a Starship visual review video. So, allow me to welcome you aboard the USS Shadowstar. I trust that you're comfortable. And I guess it doesn't really matter whether you're Dominion, Klingon, Romulan or Federation. We're all going to enjoy a look at this ship today. The visuals on this ship are quite impressive, I must say. Almost seems like a love child between the Federation's Chimera and the Klingon D7. This ship was born out of the Alliance. And so, without further ado, allow me to introduce to you the prosperity of said power. This Alliance battlecruiser. Damn, she's pretty. Seriously guys, let's just be blunt right now. We're looking at one hell of a beautiful starship. I have only one thing about the design I don't like. And it's the lower hull. No, it's not actually the lower hull completely, just the lower section of the saucer. That's the only thing I don't like. Take that away, that off, totally fine with it. And as a result, well, I'm not going to say anything real bad about this ship today. We can already guess where I'm going to be going, can't we? But we're looking at one hell of a great starship in design, not so much customization. Oops. So we're kind of starting off a negative, but I like to get customization out of the way. She's limited to one star, to the Starship bridge, which is really disappointing. Would have been awesome if she could have both Klingon and Federation designs, or if they actually gave her a custom Starship bridge, would have been amazing with this starship. Because the one thing we gotta say about this ship is it's born out of the Alliance. So something about this starship design is actually Romulan. Perhaps the Romulan part of this design is in those weird finning bits at the back where basically the mission pod is. I don't know. But at least you know she's going to be comfortable since the Federation was behind her. Only issue is you can't change the saucer hull on the cells, but then that's not really a big issue. And I don't know why they called it the Alliance Type 1, because there's no extra types. Foreshadowing maybe? I don't know why I did it that way around, because the mic's going to hate me for doing that, but are we foreshadowing more Alliance ships within Star Trek Online? That would be awesome. Definitely want to see it. But with this being said, since it's so limited here, I mean, even the window types is limited. There's no point in continuing on here. We might as well get on to the real best part of this video. Actually breaking down her visual design. So let's take a proper look. And here she is, out in the Dyson Sphere in all of her beautiful glory. Now, there's way too much detail to pick up on this ship, so this could be a long video. I do apologise, but we gotta pick up on it. First of all, we'll start off with her special unique ability and power. She has this ability to activate a sort of shielding array that absorbs incoming energy damage, protecting the ship from harm, and then transferring that power into the weapon systems to help it deliver more power or damage out. First of all, that's insane. that is really doing Federation and Klingon at the same time, and I love it. Second of all, trying to figure out what on this ship is essentially that output, that power, is kind of difficult to do. Lord knows it drives me relatively crazy 9 times out of 10. But having said this, my first thought actually comes towards, well, if you look at her design and then consider the fact that this is an anti-proton defense array, my belief is what we're looking at underneath here, these red strands, and essentially, well, the grilling you see on the top of here, which has also got red glowing throughout it, I feel like that's actually the system throughout the whole plating. And the way it works is it's actually, although the visual makes it look like a huge ass bubble appears, these grills and platings is the system itself. The only other thing I thought they could be is they could be integrated, since they are part of the weapons system, integrated into these multiple circular modules you see across the ship, because they do cover the ship quite well and in plenty of places. But then something clicked to me about them. What is one of the most terrifying weapons you could imagine a ship to be entirely armed with? Because you know the Klingons will want to make efficiency part of this ship's offensive build. Now, Klingons love to use their cannons and the dual beams, and you can see that quite well on the actual D7-like wings and sort of strut outs to the ship. You've got weapon pulses there that definitely hold on to those Klingon cannons that you see on D7s, Watchers, all the alike. They all have these points on these ships. It's easy to recognise them. But that isn't very Federation. Now, admittedly, the ship does have over it, in quite a few spots, plenty of phaser strips. And you can count them out quite well. But what would you say if I actually turned around and said this ship doesn't have any phaser strips? Or actually, technically, since it's anti-proton weaponry for this ship, any anti-proton strips. Instead, maybe those strips that you're seeing are actually part of that defensive shielding that I talked about before, and that the round modules I mentioned, which would make far more sense considering Klingons will love this efficiency, are omnidirectional anti-proton points. Instead of using multiple beam strips to target around, they're using lots of omnidirectional points, because technically beam strips have always had their ability to be omnidirectional. It has always made me wonder why Star Trek Online limits the firing arc of phaser beams so much. Why it isn't all omnidirectional. But I guess that they had to balance it somehow. With this being said though, if you think about the way it's placed out, and even go on to that degree, take away strips and only go on the module, the actual, what I'm calling omnidirectional points, you've got 5 underneath here. Happily, none towards the front, but 1 at the front of the ship there, but then towards the back again, you have 5, 6, 7. Which would be very Klingon-esque, wouldn't it? Not so many weapons at the dead front of the ship, loads at the back. That's very Klingon to do, to be fair. And then the torpedo launcher, well, it has a pair of twin torpedo launchers mounted within the deflector array. Kind of again makes sense. If you want to take those strips and say they are anti-proton beam strips, I mean, they look right to be anti-proton beam strips, so we could say they are, then you could say that's the Federation influence coming in. The Klingons have put their weapons about, and the Federation went, we like to have our strips, so we're going to have our strips too. And boom, you got them in. It is possible to say that the anti-proton protection array that this ship has is actually what these grills are right up at the front of the neck, just here. Well, let's drop away from weapons right now, because we can see the ship is well armed. Let's drop to the back of the ship, and holy moly, once again, 2 pairs of torpedo launchers, but more specifically, what an impulse grid. And I love its design. It really feels strong and quick, like this ship is going to be able to charge the battlefront or quickly make a rescue when necessary. It's got that right feel to it. I'm not entirely sure on the void spacing. I mean, yeah, those that know me knows that I love the void spacing structure to the Shepherd class. And if you flipped it upside down, I guess you're getting that. But I'm not really a fan of it on this ship's design. That's one bit that I could take out. I've just recognised that there's actually more torpedo launchers on this ship underneath. Holy crap. This ship is really well armed, but let's then step away from that and we're going to step into something that I really, really do enjoy about this Starship's design. No, it's not the design of the mission pod at the back and what could essentially be called the bridge. I am somewhat willing to believe that that's actually supposed to be a special weapon, but then they chose last second not to give it a powerful lance because that might have been a bit overkill. Damn it. Only this ship had an anti-proton lance, it would have been perfect with me. But let's take a look at some really fine detailing on this ship. It is the CSN by registration, but AFS Alliance Starship. I'm trying to figure out what the F is. Alliance Fleet Starship? But it's the logo that gets me. I can't get any closer than that, I do apologise, but look at that. First of all, it is definitely a Delta going on there, but then second of all, it's definitely the Klingon insignia, just moderately changed. Finally, we had the wings of the Romulan bird in that gold ring that goes around it. Not sure if anyone really would have picked up on that as that, but that's how I read it. So you've got the 3 main factions though in that logo. Then you've got what I do like about the ship. You can tell the ship was more fed Kling, because on one side of the ship, it's the names and that is written in Klingon. So it's the Alliance here, Klingon writing just above the registration. Go to the opposite side and it's called the Alliance still, but it's written in Klingon. So it's the AFS Alliance in Klingon text. I approve. This is also seen throughout the ship in other spots, such as right at the front of the ship. The registration is there, then the name is written twice, once in the language of the Federation, English, okay, and the Klingon language. Great! Absolutely magnificent to see this on the Starship. I couldn't be happier with that. Then we get to go even more aggressive, and this is where I really started to fall in love with the ship, with something that really caught my attention. You can feel like this Starship is trying to move back into the tech that may have been experimental at different points for both factions. Starting of all with that blue ring. Maybe that's actually part of the shielding grid. Maybe I've been completely wrong and the whole time it's been the blue rings that I should be looking at. But if you look at this ship, you can see throughout it, you've got your deflector at the front. The blue ring is on the underside as well, and then it's towards the back, and there's a sort of, I don't know, jugular or spinal section to the neck that I absolutely love. Almost mirrors itself on the top there. It's actually the side profile. This profile is why I love this ship so much. It just looks stunning from this angle. Which is annoying because if you took away the one thing I don't like about this ship, it wouldn't have that look. So that's why I live with it. But more still now, we go on to the nacelles. Now the nacelles are like, because of two things. One, the actual facades are more visible through the facade shielding, a layer that a lot of people don't realise is actually just a covering. It's not the facade itself. What you normally see at the front of the nacelles, that's just a shielding layer. It can be removed and then you'd see the facade. I like how with this ship you can see through that shielding, see the facade, and then you've got that red glow behind it, which almost feels like it builds up some heat and power behind it. Then the nacelles have a beautiful follow the rule of line of sight. They look sharp and aggressive, but they also look very high tech and very strong. Despite their narrowness and look, they feel like they can take a pounding, and then they're probably going to be still standing. You're not going to lose your warp drive that easy with this ship. I think that's one of my favourite factors on this ship, actually. The whole ship feels tough, versatile, and like it can survive the long haul. We need more of that in these Starship designs, I do believe. I've held off doing this because I wanted myself to stop loving it so much so I could be a little bit more reasoned and less biased, but I can't help it. If I had to scold the ship right now for its design, the way it's melded the two forms together, and yeah, it's not been that imaginative, but it's done well, so in my head it's like, shut up. Personally, I've got to give this ship a 9 out of 10. And only because I hate the chimera-like bulbous part at the front of the ship. If it wasn't so bulbous, if it felt a bit smoother, I would probably like it more. But you win some, you lose some. Let's have some Vanity shield looks at now, shall we? And of course this bit is always fun. But first of all we start off with the Borg Vanity shield. Good thing I waited a bit, eh? Well now, what have we here? Gotta say, you definitely know where the deflector is now, don't you? That is a very nice look to see on the ship, I will say that much. I would say I'm quite a fan of the way it looks. I feel like it works really well. Maybe not as well as some I'm expecting the look work, but I've been very much a fan of this cooperative Borg skin on almost every ship I've tried it on, and I'm standing by it. It's still a very nice looking skin. Next up, Discovery. This is one of the most highly detailed HD skins in the whole of Star Trek Online, and if it looked bad, I would be fuming right now. Can't say I'm overly keen on the impulse array, and I do see that they still have the graphical glitch on the torpedoes. I don't think they're ever going to sort that out. However, that graphical glitch actually works really well with the actual design. And the way that deflector looks now with the graphical glitch for the torpedo launchers actually looks like a more reinforced Klingon to Federation deflector. It just now seems to be missing torpedo launchers at the front. Woo! Isn't that an unwanted design premise? Next up, the Emperor's Vanity shields. Now this one should look very aggressive. Not happy that I'm not happy that the nacelles haven't changed coloration at all. The facades have, but no, the warp coils should have changed coloration in my opinion. See, the blue changed to yellow in some manner. Wow, okay, that definitely looks angry at the front there. Not gonna lie, it's pretty hard to control like this. I don't know, guys. You keen on it? I'm kind of keen on it. I like it. I think it's a good one. Next up, we are taking a look at the Fakili Vanity Shield. Oh yeah, that one's on this list too. Now this one does look bleeding good to the ship, even though it doesn't change the nacelles yet again. Again, I don't like that factor. But the whole thing feels, now it just feels Klingon to me. Feels angry, powerful, and like it's ready for battle. Impulse Ray is probably my favourite factor on this skin. Next up, the Washout Kelvin Divergence. Now, this is partly why I thought the phaser strips and that were all part of the defensive grid. Because, once again, look, they're blending in with the back and those weird grills in the back. It's all the same red texturing. Really does not work. It just feels like a washed out feel to the ship. Like the Federation built the ship, but then they got bored halfway through. Nope. Now this one I know is good. The Section 31, or Disco Section 31 skin. You know why it's good? Because it works well within the cells, but it keeps that red aggression. And unlike with the grey one in the Kelvin where it washes out, this one still feels alive. So now it feels stealthy but angry. Like it's going. This is an assassin ship. This isn't your stealth intelligence ship gathering intelligence. No, this ship is about to decloak, shoot a hole clean through your warp core, and then disappear. You're going to blow up and no one's going to know why. That's how this ship feels like this. At least to me. Now we're going bland a bit. Aegis Covariant Shield Array. And it does what you expect it to do. The Aegis always just adds a weird bit of glow and highlight. The only issue is, this ship has already so much detailing going on that it doesn't have many areas to add it into. And where it can add it into, it clashes. So unfortunately, the Aegis is Ege out. They'd be assimilated. First of all, we'll take an initial look at just being assimilated. So, sorry, I should have said that in full. This is the Assimilated Regenerative Shield Array. In my case, Mark 12. And it looks about what you'd expect. It is the detailing in all the right places. For the love of mercy, it has changed the warp grilling. So really happy about that. Glad that one of them has actually bothered to change it. Impulse Array is a bit clashy, but it's fine by me. But you know what gets better? Well, apparently it doesn't want to let me do it. Oh, I'm sorry guys. For once, I can't show you the whole simulated set. Thank you, Star Trek Online, for not letting me pull that one out. Well, I'll pull this out instead then. Bajoran Defense Covariant Shields. Now this is going to look weird. I really don't know what to say on this ship. I mean, I want to like it, but my head's going, no. Counter Command Covariant Shield Array. So this one you'd expect to work pretty well, the ship. What is even going on? Okay, so it's nice, it's changed the warp grilling again. It feels like the ship doesn't know what's actually going on with it. It's like it's half confused over... Is it grey, black, white, green, blue, red? Yeah, it's a mess of colours. This one is horrible. Normally quite a good one, but it just doesn't work with the ship's design. Delta Alliance Unimatrix Shield Array. Next up. Normally one of my least favourites. But this time it's getting a pass. Basically a green version of the Borg. Cooperative Shield Array, eh? Could have done with updating the textures on the actual warp coils again, but yeah, it's not bad. Let's move next to the Dyson Regenerative Shields. Now, if this didn't work on this ship, we'd have had an issue here because the ship is white, so it should have worked, and it does. In fact, it just adds a little bit of extra detailing. Pretty much all the right ways as well. I mean, we all knew how this was going to turn out, didn't we? It's literally just a bit of purple stranding across the ship. Nothing else is really that different, so that was a bit quick and easy. The only issue is, yeah, it's that bland too. Whoops. Iconium Resistance Resilient Shields. Considering the smoothness and roundness of this ship in certain areas, this would be one that works well on the saucer, and kind of does if it wasn't weirdly patched in one spot. But it's atrocious at the rear end of the ship, and I'm really not sure what it's done to the warp coils. Yeah, okay, you failed. Failed miserably in my personal opinion, guys. What about you? Next up, Lucari Restoration Intuitive Regenerative Shield Array. What a mouthful. We know this one should look alright, and it kind of does. I'm not a fan of all the highlight stripping or the pinstriping too much. I feel like it's a little bit over the top. But that aside, I do like that impulse grill. Yeah, that aside, the rest of the ship is quite nice feeling, I will give it that. Definitely something I can back. We're getting resistance now, Mako Resilient Shields. Come now, what was you actually expecting? Mako literally just gives a chromish, weird pattern, sort of semi-extra pattern to a ship. You've done it in the ways you'd expect it to. Little bits of the ship look more like it's been burnt or soldered a bit. Not really that bad. Oh, they definitely look good. The impulse arrays definitely look good on this ship. The rest of it feels nice, but is about the evolution I was expecting, so nothing really eye-catching for me. Oh, now this one could be good. I love the Folian Shields. Nakura Crystalline Resilient Shields. I've always been a fan of these shields, and on this ship, sort of. It's definitely got a nice feel behind it. Would have probably liked it the darker pattern though was a little bit less prominent on the saucer and around the neck area. It's a bit too heavy for me. Otherwise it's great. Mind you, it does feel like a blade at the front there, so I guess that's also kind of fitting. Let's be fair, come on. Everything else on the ship definitely feels great, so I'm definitely behind the Folian Shields. Next up, we go Romulan. I should like Romulan, right? I am a Romulan. Romulan Advanced Prototype Variant. Now we know what the ship would look like if it was having Romulan, Klingon, and Federation influences. Because Romulan's probably could only get it in here. And it doesn't look right, does it? I mean, it's like it's trying to look right, but it just not in quite the right places. A pity. Temporal, defense, intuitive, regenerative shields. My fucking word, why are they always a mouthful with these temporal ones? Oh, it also looks like someone threw up on it. What the hell? Yeah, I get what they're going for with temporal. But I don't know about you guys, but I literally hate the temporal appearance. Temporal weapons look great. I think they're absolutely amazing. But the actual, everything else temporal-wise, whole aesthetics and stuff like that, I tend to hate. And this is no exception. Really, really don't get behind this one at all. Hello, Galaxy class down there, having fun. Nope, sorry, dudes. Terran Task Force Cavarian, this better be good. God, I'd be fuming if it wasn't. Ooh. The ship does feel more alive, I'll give it that. And it feels more angry and aggressive. I definitely like that deflector. But it's also like it's trying to give the same feeling as the Section 31 whole aesthetic, but the Section 31 did it way better. I think that's led me to have a little bit of disappointment with a shield that I normally like. Damn. As I always do. God, I hate this shield. Really hate this one. It's the dielectric resilience, by the way. Green shields. Are we done? Are we done? Good. Yep. Well, thank you. I'm out. Nope. No recovery right there. Hello. Ooh, what was that called again? Sorry. The Jem'Hadar Resilient Shields. This is how you do it right. Oh, look at it. It's fluid, dynamic, and... Hi, Jem'Hadar. I don't know, I've always been a fan of Jem'Hadar shield aesthetics in this game. It just always looks so good to me. That's one of my top ones, really. And finally, normally my top, Reman Advanced Prototype Cavarian. The chrome shields of beauty, and wow, yep, it's the topic once again. Definitely my favourite. On practically any design I go for, this tends to be my favourite. Look at that raw, unbridled beauty to the ship. I love this starship, especially with this starship shield array. I can't get enough of her. I'm going to be flying her today. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go off and I'm going to fly her for a little bit because why not? I can. Guys, what do you think of this starship? I definitely love her. Visually speaking, I think she's gorgeous. But what do you guys all think? Is she a ship you want to fly based on the looks? Or is she a ship you're flying just because of how good she is as a ship? Overall, 9 out of 10 is my score for her. With the shield vanities, they're all pretty damn good. Definitely a ship where hopefully you guys picked her up. But with this being said, guys, I've got to wrap it up here. So, I'll leave it as simply as this. Thank you for watching. And to my very loyal and generous Patreon and donators, to you guys, a huge thank you for your support. You're keeping this channel afloat, and I couldn't be more appreciative of what you do for me. Hopefully, we get to see you guys all next time. If you want to support this channel on a personal level, then please check out the description. There are 2 ways to support this channel. Finally, don't forget to check out our Discord, as that is the best way to keep up to date on all videos whenever I'm streaming, and just join in with the conversation with the rest of the crew and your fellow viewers. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Take us down. Engage.